the slot of topics is the customer focus, and the first speaker is going to be Patrick Collins. He is the head of growth and startup wise guys and founder at Prospect Labs. Patrick, hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yes, great to be online. And is the sound okay? Video okay?
I can see you, I can hear you loud and clear. How do you feel today?
I feel great. It's been a very, very busy week. I'm finding a sense of optimism as people are getting towards the Christmas break, that they've had a tough time, they want a break, and then they want to attack in the new year. So it's sort of mixed emotions of tiredness and wholesome values of bring on Christmas.
Yes. I understand, yes. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Lithuania, so I'm English, but I'm based in Lithuania at the moment.
Okay, great. So how is the weather there?
Cold and miserable, like always, just like England, just the same.
Well, so we have sun here, but the pollution is not very good. So we also have foggy and gray weather. So anyway,
but at least I'm at the office though, so there's people walking about. We're distant, but at least I can see real people, which is nice.
Yes. Okay, so your topic is hyper-personalization through automation.
Yes.
The screen time is yours. Good luck.
Okay, I'll just check this is working okay. Just let me know, is that okay? And then I'll continue. Perfect. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for your time. And it's always a huge privilege when I get the chance to speak after Howard Kingston. The reason being that he's already sort of warmed your brains up on life is tough, but it doesn't have to be. And there are certain automations, there are certain hacks that can make your life easier. And I'm completely aligned with Howard in how he works. So to introduce myself. So my name is Patrick Collins. I'm currently the head of growth at Startup Wise Guys, which is one of Europe's largest B2B acceleration programs. And I'm also the founder of prospectlabs.co, which is a LinkedIn automation tool. And my real passion or my real sort of expertise is finding an automated way to communicate with people. This is via emailing, via LinkedIn, via websites, via social, whatever it may be. But my real passion is finding that way that you find that formula for how to communicate with somebody and then find a way to make them feel special and then find a way to scale that. So I've been working with online businesses for about 15 years. I had a business called Timely PA, which was a virtual assistant business that I set up very early in my career. I got the chance to travel the world whilst working online. And then I progressed to working with startups and then consulting, running my own agencies, and then most recently working with Startup Wise Guys. So I've had this sort of understanding that regardless of the industry, regardless of the product, regardless of the topic, I always seem to have a case study or a friend or software that can help you with it. One small fact about me, before I got into this business of online sales, online automation, I was a professional footballer. So I don't know how much it translates to business, although there's a competitive level. But one thing I do find it's great is that little bit of small talk whenever I meet somebody. So the amount of times I connect with somebody on LinkedIn, they look at my profile and we talk about football before we get to business. So I like to share that with you because who knows why our paths have crossed today. But one really important thing is you're here, we're online, and you know about me. So getting to know me moving forward, my strategies and my expertise or anything to do with automation, with scaling up a process that you want to do. So what I want to do today, first of all, is this. Now, it's really important that whenever I speak to somebody virtually, if I speak to somebody physically, there's one thing I want to make sure, and that is, are you mentally present? Now, what I mean by this is there's present watching and there's mentally present. You are here in the moment and ready to do this. And the reason I say this is that it's very easy to just click, have an online workshop going on, and you're checking emails, you're checking Facebook, and you're not actually engaged. My mindset is to do one thing and to do it world class. And so if I'm watching a webinar, I'm all in. I have a pen and paper, I'm typing notes, I might have another screen where I'm checking things. But the fact is there's no distractions. And the reason I ask you this today is, why are you even on this webinar? Why are you on this whole program all today? What do you want to do with it? So it's not enough to say, I attended, I watched, that was good fun. Doesn't matter. It's what you do and how you apply it. So if you see some software today from my workshops, from Howard's, from other people, find out about this software. trial it out, book a demo, email myself, email Howard, say, can I get some help? Try and do those next steps to be incredible at what you do to make progress. Because what's amazing with all the softwares that you learn is they're not so hard to use. The skill is just about knowing about them. So this is why you're here today, to be opened up to sort of softwares that you can find. And then what are you going to do next with it? What are you going to do when you apply this? Are you going to implement it into your business? Are you going to share it with your team? Are you going to get going? I would say I've got an expertise that within about 2 days, I can go from not using a software to be able to do workshops and train people on it. I go all in when I try something. I harass the customer support team. I check the demos. I watch YouTube videos. I go on forums. I spend all night doing it. And then it's in and I can apply it. So what are you going to do with all this? Okay, so to get started, I think what I want to do is, before I go into this topic of hyper-personalized communication, I just want to do a quick brief of where we are now. And the importance for this is, if I go straight in with the technology, it's interesting, but you just won't know the context of where this fits. So what I want to show you is where we are now, or where we've been, where we are now, and what's the future, and what do we have coming up. So to start with, I was on my wife's Instagram account last week. I don't use Instagram myself. It's so distracting. In bed, I checked my wife's Instagram, and this company got me. Their branding was very cool. The timing was good. The persona was good. And this company, Kenko, is a brand for smoothies for busy people, basically. Mix of fruit and vegetables for busy people. And so I ordered, and I have no sort of link. I have never heard of the business, but the branding was cool. Clicked on the app, had a look, thought this is great, discount code, signed, and there we go. So I bought the product there and then. And so I received an automated message about an hour later saying, here we go. And so I was excited. Then I got this about, I think it was the next day or the day after, an automated message saying your delivery is on its way. Picture not personalized, cool enough, startup-ish or whatever you might think, but that's it. And then I received this, an automated message sent to customer, letting them know their package is delivered. So I received the box, looked cool, looked at the order, an email saying, there you go, your order's been delivered. And then this is where it gets bad. Then I got this. And this is the context that I think is broken and needs to be fixed. So what this is I've gone from stranger to buying within about an hour. I have no affinity to the brand. I don't know the background. I don't know the values. I don't know the expertise. And I've purchased. And what this company is trying to do is to say, can you come back? Can you purchase again? Can you get a subscription? Can you become part of our brand and refer other people? And how they approach it isn't so bad, but there's ways to improve. So they're trying to teach me about smoothies, about a nutritionist. But you can see on the dates on the top right, it's pretty much every day they were messaging me and sending me. And so this had me sort of confused. And this is why. I bought the product because the branding looked quite good. It arrived, the boxing was quite good. I tried the drinks, they were okay. It's not their fault, they were very healthy, so they didn't taste super sweet. But the product was good. So why did I not feel connected to this business? Why did I not feel excited? Why did I not feel alive? Why did I not want to rush to my office and tell everybody, you've got to try this out? There was something that was just not quite connected. And this is what I want to show you. And my first reason why, I think, is this. This is my email provider on the right-hand side. And so in the email says, Kenko, here we go. Hi, Patrick, let's get started. And on the top right, you can see the email from no reply. So they're sending me an email from no reply, which is basically saying, dear Patrick, here's your product. Don't even bother getting back to us. We don't want to hear from you. We don't care what you think. I'm not bothered if you're happy or sad or motivated. I don't care. Don't reply. So I understand the logic of why you have no reply, but you don't need to do that. Why do you not want to hear from people? If you're too busy that you can't deal with support tickets, there's something very, very wrong. And so instantly, this no reply email made me think this is just a transaction. I give you money, you give me product. And in theory, yes, a one-off purchase is a transaction. I swap value or money for product. But this is not what you're trying to build as a brand. Many of you will either have repeat purchases, other products, you might want brand awareness, you might want referrals, whatever it is, you certainly don't want one-time only purchases from people. So if you're using no reply, the message that you're sending out to people is, we don't care, we don't want to speak to you. And what's amazing is people still try and reply to no reply because they feel like they want to ask a question. You've engaged with them and they want to say, how do I do this? Or when is it coming? Or can I check something? Or I've made a mistake. And so that first point where you've got to have an interaction that's changed from a B2C relationship, so changed from user business targeting a consumer, has now changed from user business speaking one-on-one to somebody. The dynamics have changed. So your first engagement where you could have that interaction, you've skipped it. You say, we don't care, we're still B2C, we're still automation. And to me, that's not good enough. So what I realized is if you're going to use automation and you're going to use no reply at, and you're going to say it's automated message and we accept that, how can you add an angle to it? How can you add a little bit of humor, something interesting, something where at least the person getting the automated email is starting to feel your brand and what you stand for? And this is what I love. So this was back in 1998. Now, I would be amazed if anybody on this webinar here has not heard of the CD Baby automated email. If you haven't, then wonderful. If you have, bear with me. It's wonderful and you'll enjoy it anyway. So this was back in 1998, and it seems an eternity ago in terms of what e-commerce stood for in 1998. And the business was CD Baby. And they had a sort of independent music store for delivering independent artist CDs. And what Derek Sivers, the founder, realized is that they were sending a no reply email, dear Patrick, your CD is on its way. And people started to reply to no reply, saying, thanks, when's it coming? Really excited. So what they realized that even if it's no reply, people still wanted a way to engage. They wanted a way to feel engaged with the business. So Derek wrote this email, and I think it's genius. And so this is it. Thank you for your order with CD Baby. Your CD has been gently taken from our CD Baby shelves with sterilized contamination-free gloves and placed onto a satin pillow. Our team of 50 employees inspected your CD and polished it to make sure it was in the best possible condition before mailing. Our packaging specialist from Japan lit a candle and hush fell over the crowd as he put your CD into the finest gold-lined box that money can buy. We all had a wonderful celebration afterwards, and the whole party marched down the street to the post office, where the entire town of Portland waved bon voyage to your product on the way to you in our private CD baby jet on the day, Friday, June the 6th. I hope you have a wonderful time shopping at CD Baby. We sure did. Your picture's on our wall as Customer of the Year. We're all exhausted, but can't wait for you to come back to cdbaby.com. Thank you once again, Derek Sivers, President CD Baby, the little store with the best new independent music. Now, what's amazing about this, I still get goosebumps, and I must have read this hundreds of times. There's a few things I love and absolutely love about this. Number one, there's humor. None of this exists. It's obviously ridiculous. But what he's trying to say is this is the brand of our business. We're unique. We care. We want to make sure the person receiving their CD doesn't just receive a CD. You're part of a family. You're part of a brand. You're part of a community. And this is their tone of voice. They want the other people to feel like smiling, happy, that sort of thing. So the genius behind this is simply that although it's automated, you provoked a response from the person on the other side of the email. And what happened with this is their business exploded. This message went viral. And if you just type in CD Baby automated email, you'll see the original email and the thousands and thousands, literally, of pages and blogs talking about this. So my advice to you is not to copy this. This is old school. And what you'll see is there are companies already that copy this. And because it's already been done, it feels a little bit crass. And what I mean by this is that if I buy something now and I get an email saying, thanks for buying, Jacob did a forward roll celebration, Patrick smiled, and Mary said, hurrah, and fired a firework. It's already been done. So it just looks cheesy and crass. It looks a bit stupid. However, one thing I do like is make sure that you take inspiration from what they're trying to do. And that was go against the trend. No reply doesn't mean no personality. Okay, so this is where we were. So why in 2020 are we still doing the same processes? So companies are still trying to engage you through content and drive you back to the site. So you buy through Instagram, you go to the website, you make a purchase, you get an email, and then they're targeting you on email with content to say, come back to our site, read our blog, book a consultation, order again, here's a discount. They're still trying to do that same cycle. Next thing is people are being treated too much like B2C, and they want to be treated like an individual. So what I mean by this again is you're not just a demographic on Facebook. You're not just a persona on Instagram. When you actually make a purchase, you're a customer. You're an individual. You're an individual in that database of people who say they are our paying customers. And so you deserve to be treated differently, not just a number to say purchase, retarget, all this sort of thing. So you need to be treated and made to feel special. And the final thing is the movement now is trying to create that way of personalization through either physical or digital automation. So physical as in, how can you send a box or a physical product that still feels hyper personalized to you? And how can you link that to your website that still feels hyper personalized? And this is where I want to move through. I want to introduce you to personalizing everything. So any data that you can have about a person, and you will always get their first name. If you can find their business, if you can find their picture, if you can find their address, if you can find their gender, if you're going to find their skills, whatever data you can get when they're purchasing, you can then do that to personalize everything after that in terms of your transactions. And so this is what I want to show you. So this software is called Hyperize.io. Hyperise.io, Hyperize.io. And the idea of this software is you can personalize absolutely everything you do. You can personalize your website, your messaging, your physical products, your Facebook ads, anything you want to do, you can personalize. And what I mean by personalize is that when a person interacts with you, everything changes to be just for them. The pictures change, the text changes, the image changes, this sort of thing. So I want to show you some real examples of how this works. So there are three sort of case studies where I think all of you as an e-commerce business could apply this. And the first one is the QR code. Now, as you saw Howard do before, QR codes are still relevant on online, just as relevant as they are on physical. But QR codes are amazing. And I think they're massively underrated. So what I want to do is show you how QR codes could help you. So one thing is, imagine if you could use the Hyperize software to generate this QR code. You send a physical product, and on your packaging, it has the QR code. If somebody scans that, they could then go back to your site. But instead of being your normal site, this site is actually 100% adopted to that individual people. And that's what I'm going to show you. Step two, how can you make sure the site is totally personalized, not just from a QR code, but anytime they revisit, it feels like you're coming back. And I'll show you a little bit more in real time what I mean by that. And the third one is GIFs. At the moment, everything is about GIFs and emojis, much less than texts. And most people can communicate without even saying anything. It's a rocket here, a smiley here, a curly poo, whatever. There's the most amazing GIFs for anything in the way you think. So GIFs and emojis are incredible for lightening the sort of tone as well as bringing it to life. And what you can do with Hyperize is have animated GIFs that are personalized. So imagine sending somebody a GIF, a moving image, different things, but it's personalized to the customer with their business name or their product or their first name or something like that. So I've said a little bit about this. I actually want to show you how this works. So here's an example. Apologies, it's a little bit blurred, but just go with me. So this is some of the product that I received when I bought through Kenco. And you get a document like this, and the document will say, thanks for shopping, you're saving the planet, here's how our product's made. Now, what they've missed is the physical to digital transaction. So the physical is I'm holding this now. It's in my hand. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this is really interesting. But naturally, I want to go online and research more about this. Now, if they have a QR code here and I could scan it, I could then do this. Hopefully this short video will load up here. So this video will show very simply, this is the Hyperize dynamic. And if we've got time today, I'm going to share my screen and show you actually how to use Hyperize. But what this simply does is you add the image that you want to use, and then you drag the QR code, and that's part of your packaging. That's step one. Step two is this, though. Imagine if you go to the website. So this website is Kenko, and this is where I bought from. So imagine I had scanned the QR code and I did this. And this is what I think they could have done. So this is the Hyperize tool. And what Kenko could have done is integrate Hyperize code, simply choose the plugin that you use for Hyperize, and you can start to edit the website for each customer that's visiting. So what I mean by this is when it says get started, it should say, Patrick, get started. Or when it says book a consultancy, or what is Kenko? It should say, Patrick, would you like to know more about Kenko? Or Prospect Labs, would you like to know about Kenko? On Hyperize, what you can do is make your whole website completely dynamic. So every image, every bit of text, anything that you want can be personalized to the person who's clicked on your interaction. So if they've clicked on your email, if they've clicked on a scanned a QR code, if they've clicked on a Facebook ad and arrived at your site, you can make the stream of messaging 100% personalized. So the idea behind this is that when a person clicks on your site or clicks on your product and goes back, why do they feel like a stranger? And what I want to do is show you very quickly after this some real-time examples, and hopefully it will work okay. But the idea is some companies are already doing it well. So if you have a look at this company called KiwiCo, sorry, it's a bit small. KiwiCo are a really cool business for kids sort of boxes, kids presents. And so I was doing the same thing on Instagram and I got to the checkout. Now on the checkout, they're saying how many Panda Crate deliveries for Isabella, my daughter's name. Then they have the box on the top right saying for Isabella. So what I love about this is it's already saying this is personalized to you. It's making me feel more special. Now, I know it's automated. I know it's not somebody typing in my name or something. That's not the variable here. The variable is just when I'm in the state of mind of impulse buying or not, that little bit to make me feel special, that this is just for me, or even more important here, this is for my daughter. The company are using my daughter's name to say, here's how the package will look. That resonates just that little bit more with me to make me feel more engaged. And what you will find that customer engagement is 6 times higher if you can personalize messages, if you can personalize the boxes, if you can personalize the text, if you can personalize all the images. And so this is what can be highly powerful for you. So what I want to do very quickly is wrap up with some ideas. Then I'm going to show you the screen and show you in real time actually how you can do this. But a few things I want you to understand from this, and this is number 1. You need to be able to engage with your audience and avoid things like no reply at. So if you're going to have automated messages, have a bit of fun. So there's one amazing business that I'm working with. It's a VR business for scanning faces. And they make real-time faces for e-commerce businesses, for game shows, for whatever you want to use, sort of an interactive face they build. They are called Scan and Eggs. So their automated message is kitchen at Scan and Eggs. Not no reply, not leave me alone, not get lost, kitchen. Because the idea is their business is called Scan and Eggs. It's stupid enough as it is. So they're continuing the theme with saying, if you get an automated message, we use the word kitchen at Scan and Eggs. And the point is, even just that attention to detail with the email, or even just the text that you have on the images, or anything like that, that slight bit more personalization to make the customer feel more engaged with your product has huge results. Step number 2, you need to find a way to personalize your physical messages to make a personalized experience. So what I mean by this is if you send an email saying, hey, Patrick, thanks for ordering, why then when I go back to your site, it still says, buy now? Why does it not say, hey, Patrick, welcome back? I'm your customer. Why are you still speaking to me like a stranger? And the reason being that products don't realize this technology called Hyperize exists. So implementing this will make your current customers feel welcome and to come home, and your new customers be amazed by your attention to detail that your site is bespoke for them. And then finally, your checkout process, regardless of Hyperize, can you make sure your checkout process is personalized to them? So if I'm ordering a physical product that's going to be shipped to me, can you make any sort of text that will make the product look like it's going to be mine with my name on the box, the packaging, that sort of thing? So now what I want to do, my approach is very, very practical, not just theory. So I want to show you how we can edit this. But before I quickly do that, a few bits to get in touch with me. So this is my LinkedIn profile, linkedin.com/PatrickPaulCollins, or my email address, or I have a Facebook group called Growth Hacking for Startups, where I share lots of these different ideas. But what I'm really excited about now is to show you this in sort of real time. And I hope this works, but as it's an online conference, we can try. So this is the e-commerce conference, and a bit of a disclaimer here. I can't edit any of this because the back-end code isn't edited. So it can look like I'm editing this, but don't worry, I'm not breaking your site. It's not going to edit anything. But this is how Hyperize works. So if you were to click on Hyperize, and allow, say, codes in. And when it says here, you can now simply click on the tagline, and in here, you can pull in all the information you have about your target audience. So imagine you had for your target audience their first name, their location, what they bought, whatever it could be. I can now click first name. And now this whole thing is anybody that e-commerce conference emailed to say, please join, when they come back, they would see my name here. Now, an example of this is, let's have a look at pricing, for example. And we can have a look here. And on early bird, it could have said early bird discount for Patrick Collins. Now, can you imagine if you send me an email saying, hey guys, would love you to join. I click on it, and then the pricing says early bird discount for Patrick. Click here. The mindset of this to make me engage is incredible. So what I'm trying to say is, if you can edit the text, you can also edit images, which is amazing. So you can click on different images, and the whole site can be dynamic for anybody that comes to the site. Now, if you want to have a look at this and how Kenco could have done this, I'm their customer. But can you still see how they're speaking to me? Buy 20%, get 2 months for real nourishment for business people. They could have changed that easily. They could have done this. They could have done that. They could have targeted me with an order. I could have clicked on it. I could have come back to the site, and the site would say, welcome back, Patrick. How is your smoothie? But to everybody else that's clicking on the site, it would say the original message of join. So my idea with all of this in terms of Hyperize is you can make everything personalized. And this is what I want to try and finish on here. This is the Hyperize site, hyperize.com, or it's also hyperize.o. And I want to show you the attention of detail that you can do if you do this perfect. So I signed up to this software called Patrick at startupwiseguys.com. So start to have a look at the craziness of what goes on here. Can you see my logo there? So when you sign up to their software, their website now pulls in your logo and says, Hyperize loves your logo. So the whole site's changing. Now, when they try and show you an example of how emails work, my email address and logo is in the example there. If you zoom in a bit here, do you have time for coffee, Patrick? Startup Wise Guys, personalize your site, and my logo. So their GIF is now talking about me. And we need to slow down because this is like Inception. I'm looking at a website that has a GIF of them with a photo of their website with me on it. So it's a GIF within a GIF. But the point is, this is all automated. And let's scroll down a little bit here as well. So they then say hyper-personalized Startup Wise Guys, LinkedIn and Facebook outreach. So not hyper-personalize your Facebook page, hyper-personalized Startup Wise Guys. And then if we scroll down a little bit more here, Patrick, ready to 3 times Startup Wise Guys social. So this website's speaking to me, but everybody else that's ever engaged. But this makes me feel special, even though I know it's automated. And then have a look down here, how to personalize your website. Website URL here. And if you have a look, there's a placeholder of the website on their screen. So then we go down to a few other bits, and this is where it really makes me laugh. So you can also use this on chatbots. So personalized Startup Wise Guys conversational commerce. So you could have a chatbot, and the chatbot could automated anybody that visits from your campaigns would say, hey, Patrick, thanks for coming back. How is the smoothies? Do you need any help with anything? And it can work here. And then this is the one that really makes me laugh. So you can also do GIFs. So if you think about the GIF that you want to do, and you can have some sort of moving image, imagine this user case. A customer finds you from Instagram or something like that, purchases, and has no affinity to your business. And they get an email from you saying, thanks for signing up, from some sort of funny, no reply sort of variable, or from something like a, what's it called, from a really cool message. You get the product, you scan a QR code, or you click on the link, you go to the website, and everything's personalized. And then you see a GIF like this, and this makes me laugh, even though I've seen it 1,000 times. So let's look at what's going on here. This is Donald Trump sharing a picture of the Startup website, Wise Guys website, with a link to the URL saying startupwiseguys.com, with the Startup Wise Guys logos and my name saying Patrick is really great, I'd give them A+. So no matter if you think this is ridiculous or not, the engagement there gets the goosebumps, gets the smiling, makes life a bit easier. And we come back to all of this topic of what's going on now. How do we change from times of hardship to times of growth through this COVID period? And one of the big things is empathy. Empathy for your audience of what they're in, what they're buying. And if you can make somebody smile, the value of that smile at the moment is way more higher than it's been in the past. So things like this, gifts on your website, personalized to your customer that is either purchased or visited or something like this. So think of one final use case. Somebody gets your product, scans the QR code, and even imagine how it's talked before where we had the QR code. If he was using Hyperize, and maybe he does, if you scan that, you could go to the person's website. On the website, there's then a GIF, but the GIF could have your name, a bit of text, that sort of thing. And one of the amazing things about Hyperize is it's also got a tool called reverse IP. So even if you don't have people's information, it can pull your IP information from your domain or your browser and try and predict who it is visiting the site. So I think all of this combined can give you amazing sort of feeling for what will happen. So even here with the scan QR code, you scan this, you go to a personalized page. And we've finished with this. Kenko Smoothies are a very cool brand. They targeted me on Instagram, they made me purchase, and I'm a one-off buyer. Am I going to buy again with them? And the answer is probably no. And the reason being that I don't feel any closer to them as a brand than I did when I first purchased. However, do I feel associated with Hyperize after I signed up to the software? 100%. Their software makes me laugh, makes me smile. And every time I visit, I find little bits that I didn't even realize were there. And if you think about this, sometimes I go to the homepage and I just look about for different bits to see what are they personalizing at the moment, and have a look at that. Welcome back, Startup Wise Guys. Nice to see you again. Not please buy again, welcome back. So how can your e-commerce business make people feel special, makes people feel wanted, make people smile? And I would say, look at hyperize.com. Speak to Ian. It's a very early business. I would say they've been going maybe 6 months or maybe less. Not a lot of people know about this. But can you make your site personalized, the branding, the logo? Can you make the user experience for somebody who purchased your product not only happy, not only that they love it, but they need to share this with everybody to say, you've got to try this out. When you buy from this company, crazy things happen. The experience is amazing. So I hope that's given you a bit of an image or a bit of a picture into my sort of psyche in terms of my mindset of how I try and automate. And my morals behind this are, I want everybody to feel special. So I want everybody to feel like they're individual. But I appreciate that things have to be automated for scale. And so if you can find that hybrid between automation and personalization and put it together, you get happy customers and you can scale to as big as you want. So I think that's all I want to wrap up with here. But please let me know if anybody has any questions on this, because it's certainly not easy to get your head around. And it's taken me a lot of demos of trying this out, of trying to show people, even trying building myself. I said at the start of the talk, it takes me 2 days. This took me a week. And Ian and customer service, we know each other very, very well because it's been late nights messaging and trying and testing it out. But I would say that if you can look at this software, go on their live chat, even click start a free trial and just test it out, what you'll start to realize is the the amount of skills that you can do for your business. And in terms of pricing, it's something like $20 to $30 a month to start with, and then it can go up to $100. But if you message them and you mention my name, Patrick Collins, there's a good chance he'll give you a discount code as well. So try it out. So I think that's all for me. And I think over the team, just to say, Gorest, I hope that blew your mind just a little bit, and that was the goal.
Actually, you managed to ruin for me that special feeling that I felt every time I visit a site. And I thought that really knew me, and they really think about me. And now I just understand it's some robot in the background doing all the stuff.
Yeah,
so
it really is. I've lifted the curtain up, but at the same time, people are aware of automation. So do automation with a smile. Do something that
I'm already smiling.
Yeah. So the Donald Trump gift, that makes me laugh so much.
Yep.
So I'm currently working on that at the moment.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much again. Thanks for your time. I keep safe. I hope you have a pleasant weekend. It's ahead of us. So thank you again, and I hope we see each other next year, maybe in person here.
I would love to. So keep in touch. Thanks for your time, and thanks everybody. Speak.